Hello dear student, myself is Roshni Parikh, lecturer from Department of Electrical. Now today's topic of discussion, that is the vector method or a phasor method to solve the AC parallel circuit. Now at the end of this session, student will able to solve the AC parallel circuit by using the phasor or a vector method. Now let's discuss about the vector or a phasor various methods to solve the AC parallel circuit and vector method in the brief. Now see what is the parallel circuit. Parallel circuit means the numbers of branches are connected in a parallel. Now that branch may contain the numbers of elements like the resistor, inductor and the capacitor forming a series circuit. So you can say in a one branch, suppose if I say three branches are there, so one branch contain the resistor and the inductor, so it is called a RL series circuit. Another branch contain the resistor and the capacitor in a series, and third branch contain only a resistor, and all the three branches are connected in a parallel. So in a parallel circuit, so numbers of branches are connected, in a parallel, and each branch contain a numbers of the elements, or you can say components like a resistor, inductor and the capacitor forming a series circuit. So it may be complicated to solve the any parallel circuit. So there are a various methods to solve the AC parallel circuit. See, these are the various methods of solving the AC parallel circuit. First method, that is the vector or a phasor method. Second method, that is the admittance method. And third method, that is the complex algebra method. Now I will discuss today vector or a phasor method. Okay, how to solve the AC parallel circuit by using the vector method. See, here one circuit diagram is given. For an example, you can see that two branches are there and two branches are connected parallel to each other. So it is called a parallel circuit. But see, in the first branch there is a resistor having a resistance of a R1 ohm, and the inductor having a inductance of a L Henry is connected in a series. So first branch is contain a RL series, and in a second branch there is a resistor of a R2 ohm is connected in series with the capacitor of a C Faraday, capacitance of a C Faraday. So this circuit having a two branch, first branch contain the inductor and the resistor, and second branch contain the resistor and the capacitor, and both the branches are connected parallel to each other. Now this circuit is connected to the AC supply. Now how to find out the value of a current and the power factor by using the vector or a phasor method. So see, in a vector method you have to draw the vector diagram. So how to draw the vector diagram? So it's a very simple. See, it is two branches are there. So two branch current are there. Branch current I1 which is flowing through the RL, and branch current I2 which is flowing through the RC series. Now see, when this circuit is connected to the AC supply, now we already know that in any parallel circuit voltage remains the same. Means in a parallel circuit voltage remains the same. So voltage across the first branch, that is also V, means same as the supplied voltage, and voltage across the second branch, that is also voltage across the second branch, that is also V. So voltage across the branches, each and every branches, that is S equal to the supplied voltage, means in a parallel voltage remains the same. So take the voltage as a reference vector. Now how to draw the vector diagram? So see, first you have to draw the x-axis and y-axis. See here xy plane is there. So on the x-axis voltage is taken as the reference vector. See here voltage is taken as the reference vector. Now when this circuit is connected to TAC supply, alternating current I starts to flow, and at this node it is divided into the two branches, that is the I1 and I2, as the two branches are connected parallel. See, total current is divided into the number of branches connected in a parallel. In this circuit, two branches are there. So your total current I is divided into the two branches, I1 and the I2. I1 is flowing through the first branch, means through the R1 and the L, and the I2 is flowing through the second branch, that is through the R2 and the C. And the vector sum of a I1 and I2 will give you the total current I. Now, how to show the I1 through the vector? So see, first branch contain the R1 resistor and the inductor L. So both are connected in a series. So it is called a RL series circuit. Now we have already studied about the series circuit. If inductor is present, then the current is always lagging. And here a inductor is in series with the resistor. So in a RL series circuit, your current, that is the I1 flowing through the R and L, that is lags behind the voltage that is the V, voltage across this branch, that is the supplied voltage V. So I1 is lags behind the voltage V by angle of a phi 1. See here two currents are there. So two phase differences are there, which is denoted as a phi 1 and the phi 2. So I1 which is flowing through the first branch means I1, that is the current flowing through the R1 and through the L, and both are connected in a series. So same current is flowing through both the elements, and the voltage across the first branch, that is the V. So what is the phase difference between a V and the I1? As I1 is flowing through the RL series circuit, RL branch, so inductor is present, and if inductor is in a circuit, then current is always a lagging. Means what? Okay, see, there is a phase angle, that is the phi 1. Phi 1, that is the phase difference between the voltage and the current I1. So shows the current I1 in the fourth quadrant as the current I1. See here, it is a current I1. So I1 is lags behind the voltage by an angle of a phi 1. So you have to draw the vector. If I say here O, that is the origin. So draw the vector OA by lagging angle of a phi 1, which makes the angle phi 1 with the voltage V, and it is a lagging angle. So shows this vector into the fourth quadrant. Now I2 is a branch current which is flowing through the R2 and C, and here a resistor R2 and C is connected in a series. And when capacitor is in a circuit, current is always a leading, means your current I2 lead the voltage by an angle of a phi 2, we can say. So phi 2, that is the angle between the voltage and the current. See here I2, that is the current flowing through the RC branch, and if capacitor is there, it is a leading, so it's shown in the first quadrant. And I1, that is the current flowing through the RL branch. If inductor is there, current is a lagging. So current I1 is shown in the fourth quadrant. Now draw the parallelogram and join the diagonal. So you will get the final current I, and this current I, that is the total current. And the phase angle between the voltage and current shows the final power factor angle, that is the phi. So this way you can draw the phasor diagram. Now how to solve the circuit and how to find out the value of a current I. So see, in a first branch there is a R and the inductor L is there. So you can say XL, that is the inductive reactance. So impedance of the first branch, that is the Z1. Z1 is equal to, you can say, R1 plus here inductor is there, so R1 minus JXL, or you can say root of R1 square plus XL square. In a second branch there is a resistor and the capacitor, so you can say Z2 is equal to R2 plus JXC. For a capacitor, capacitive reactance is there, so Z2 is equal to root of R2 square plus XC square. See here, in the next slide I will show you. See, two branches connected in a parallel are taken into consideration. One branch means the first branch contains the resistor and inductor in series. So impedance of the first branch, that is Z1, is equal to root of R1 square plus, you can say, XL or a XL1 square. And the same way the second branch contains the resistor and the capacitor in a series. So impedance of the second branch, that will be the Z2 is equal to root of R2 square plus XC2 square. Now What is the current? So as we noted, current is equal to V by Z1. So by substituting the value of this and voltage, that is the supplied voltage, you will get the current I1. And the same way you can find out the I2, that is the V upon Z2. And phase difference, you can also find out phi 1, that is always a lagging, phi 2 as the capacitor is that, so it is a leading. Phi 1 is equal to tan inverse XL by R1, and phi 2, that is the XC divided by R2. So this way you can find out the value of a current I1 and I2, and by addition of the I1 and I2 you will get the I and the final phase angle. Same way you can find out this way too. Okay, see, I1, see, in a phase diagram, see I1, it is the I1. So I1 split into the two components. One component which is in phase with the voltage, which is called a I1 cos phi 1. Another component that is on the minus y axis, means the opposite component, which makes the quadrature to the voltage, that is the I1 sin phi 1. Same way I2 having the two components, means I2 split into the two components. One which is in phase with the voltage, that is called the I2 cos phi 2, and another which is the quadrature to the voltage, that is the I2 sin phi 2. So by addition of the I1 cos phi 1 plus I2 cos phi 2, you will get the x component, that is the real component. It is the phasor sum. And see here a minus sign, that is the your I1 current, that is the lagging behind the voltage. So your sign component, that is on the minus y axis. So minus I1 sin phi 1 plus I2 sin phi 2, you will get the y component. And by taking the phasor sum or a vector sum, current I is equal to root of Ixx square plus Iyy square. So you will get the current I. So this way you can able to solve any AC parallel circuit by using the phasor, or you can say vector method. Hope you understood. Thank you.